Well, let me turn this off.
Okay, I think are we live? Yes, we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to this roundtable extraordinaire featuring J. Rocco, Dennis, and our Lady D, Delphine. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello. Lovely.
So, Lady D is not feeling that great, so she might not stay with us the whole time. So, yeah, just do what you have to do, girlfriend. I mean, it is what it is, right? You could only do so much sometimes. I totally understand.
And honestly, it's really
so anyway,
not
all right. So a few things. It's what? Oh no, I lost
I was going to
everybody.
say
Hold on.
a lot of times we.
Can you see me? Okay.
We see you. Can you see us?
Can you see us?
See
Did you get
Wait
a black screen, Chrissy?
Oh, there. It just that was so weird. It buffered. Everybody was buffering, and I didn't see you guys for a couple seconds there. That was weird. Okay. All right. So what were you saying, Joe?
It is what it is.
Remember? Oh, there we go.
I have
We're
no
doing
idea.
it again.
Gone.
It's doing that again. That's so weird. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to. All right. So today's topic is going to be Egyptian mythology, the pyramids, and starseeds ahead of the book launch everybody knows about for Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I just want to, before I get started, and so I remember, because otherwise, if I will forget, is to do a shout out to Harley Ray Crystal Shop. And I don't know why this isn't working. Hold on a minute. Share the screen. All right. Can you see that?
It's buffering. There
All
it
right.
is.
Yeah. So if you put in, okay. If you put in RW Chrissy, you get 10% off of your purchase from Harley Ray Crystal Shop. So go over there. I use everybody with. Some people have asked, like, where do I get sage? I get my sage from there and crystals and everything else. So anyway, all right. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was, I think, Lady D, do you know when you're going on this week? Did you decide tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night. I'm going to go on. Yeah, I'm going to go on tomorrow night. I'm going on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Which is Thursday at 8 p.m.
Okay, and Dennis, when
Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, yes.
Eastern, okay.
Whenever there's an open slot. Friday's out because I think Jason B is going to be on Friday night. So probably not until Sunday. Or whenever I find an open spot.
Okay, all right, okay.
I don't want to rain on anybody's parade.
Decide to pop on. And Joe just pops on whenever he feels like it too. So
yeah,
just make sure you guys are subscribed to everybody. So that I know, but you say very profound things, people.
Yes, you do.
Seriously,
you've learned a lot from me, Grasshopper.
I have. I just got these burn marks on my wrist. Did I ever tell you that my wife did not know who Billy Jack was?
Really?
Did not. She's
Billy Jack?
a year older than me. She did not know.
You don't know Billy Jack?
No, I've never heard of him either.
Oh, this is a game changer.
Man.
Jeez, Billy Jack.
Wow. You need to Tom Laughlin.
Yes.
It's okay. Billy Jack.
My feelings aren't hurt. I mean, there was only 3 channels back then. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. 70s. Was
it 70s or 80s?
70s,
4 if you count
Billy Tom Jack. Laughlin was Billy Jack. He's gone now.
Yeah, it was a story of Native American.
Oh, Billy Jack, like the spheres from the four corners of the earth.
No.
No.
No. Okay, never mind.
Let's stick to Egypt, not Billy Jack.
Yes.
Totally off.
Most people in
Totally
the
off.
chat are
I'm
going,
on a
"Who the
deep
hell's
dive
Billy
into
Jack?"
Yeah, I've never heard of Billy
Okay.
Jack. Never.
Maybe it was a boy thing. I don't know.
Oh, I
We-
think it was
we- yeah.
probably before their
It was a
time.
Billy-
You know how young these two are.
Possibly.
Oh, that's
Oh
so
wow,
funny.
we're
I
considered
don't know.
young, Chrissy. That's great.
Definitely. Listen, I'm a little bit older than you ladies, but there's a ton of miles on the chassis.
I'm
You
a
know,
lot older than you two ladies, and my rust is
And
rusted
we-
through.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now that we got all Billy Jack out of the way.
yeah. And
Who is
Russ just
Jack?
let us
Who is
know
Billy
that Billy Jack went into witness protection, so it's all good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe.
So,
I
all
don't
right.
know. You know, Gilda Radner is though.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I do know Gilda Radner. Yes, Saturday Night Live.
She's
the
in. I'm
Rosanna,
getting. She's
Dana,
WP.
Dana, whatever.
Rosanna Dana.
Yeah, Rosanna Dana. That was hilarious. Oh my god. That was like one of the first episodes that I ever saw was that episode when I was young, but I was with my group of friends and we were having a sleepover and I stayed up late. We stayed up to watch Saturday Night Live, and I'll never forget, I couldn't stop laughing from that stupid skit. I swear. Anyway, all right, on to the Egyptian mythology. So we're going to talk about the Egyptian mythology, because I'm just going to explain real quick. So in my book, she starts out in Seattle. She ends up in Cairo, Egypt, doing a investigation of the Great Pyramid, and how she ends up there, the reasons why, is in the book. But the reason that I thought it would be fun to do this because of that, and it's the launch week, so I said, well, all right, we'll just do it this way. All right, so in Egyptian mythology, they followed God and goddesses, right? And they were considered reincarnations or incarnations of God, and they were called pharaohs. They acted as the intermediary between God and humans. Now, I found that very interesting because you guys, and I mean, we all are like, we don't need an intermediary. Like, what is that? It's another way of controlling. And I don't like that, but they did represent natural or knowledge. So things in the natural. So like there was the sun god, the sky god, water, they had all the elements. And then people who were smart, like, I guess it would be Osiris. And anyway, so, and they believed basically that the beginning of the universe was actually, we believe that it's a conscious, like God is the consciousness, right? God creator, he created everything. He's a consciousness. He's the energy. He's the oneness that we're all trying to get to. Well, in Egyptian mythology, they believe that the beginning of the universe was just an infinitive body of water that was unconscious, unthinking, and motionless, and an eternal nothingness. So nothing. It was just like, I guess you could call it an ethereal, glassy thing of water. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You want to start, Joe?
Sounds like the Big Bang.
Just saying. Could be, but I don't know about the Big Bang.
From nothing came something. The Atlantis was also surrounded with water. Their supposed religions, if you will. And Egypt, if you go with the Anunnakis in Egypt, there was specific gods for specific purposes. Akhenaten is the only one that went to a single god, the sun god.
Right.
So, but there's a ton of the hard part about some of the mythologies is the mythologies was a lot of times brought in by a particular pharaoh and walked out by another one. So
Right.
it can be pretty hard to follow. There's really some pretty interesting things out there as far as specific mythologies, but they're generally overshadowed, like someone like Tutankhamun, Ra.
I do my best.
Yes, I noticed that
Yeah.
and he has an American flag there from 1776.
Who knows that?
He wanted America. That's why.
It's clashing with the blue. That's all I'm saying. It's clashing with the blue. But yeah, it's very interesting and it's very intricate. I mean, once you start getting into the details, it's kind of like you really do start going down rabbit holes, and it can be very hard to follow. Billy Carson's probably the only one I've ever seen that has a full total recall knowledge of most of these things. A lot of respect out to him. But yeah, it's I mean, depending on where you want to go and where you want to start, like I said, we're just trying to give little bits of information and kind of stay along the lines of the Starseeds and Chrissy's book tonight.
Yep. Okay, Dennis, what do you think about all that?
Fantastic.
I was gonna say, I was waiting for you to say I concur.
Strong as thunder.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. Okay, and
no, I think I did most of mine on the Sphinx. I think when I was studying it.
Yeah, the Sphinx is interesting. Everything is so interesting. My whole fascination with Egypt is just that it's just the fact that these things stood over 4,500 years. Nobody knows exactly how they were built. All of it was built. It just fascinates me, you know. And that's fragile. Sort of the allure of it for me.
Thank you. That's all right. It's all right. Love you too.
I was really fascinated with the. I think everyone's fascinated with the pyramids as children. You know, I mean, you see the pyramids and you hear all the stories. It really is something, you know. But they make them. I think I'd mentioned one time we had the little ViewMaster views. So you're looking in this little thing, and you don't realize how utterly gigantic they are.
Right.
You know, and then they've been there, I'm sorry they were rediscovered. They weren't. And see, you know, the other thing as far as building the pyramids go, we're told about building the pyramids or about the pyramids being built in more than one pharaoh. Believe it or not, if you go back and you read, there's more than one pharaoh that quote built the pyramids. But we've kind of come to realize a little bit of mix in translations. However, not a thing on the pyramids again, how they're built. Yeah. And this is a
I think different theories on that.
Yeah, but this is also a civilization that documented everything. We have grocery lists, we have wagers, we have bets, we have games written down in scorecards for games. We don't have a blueprint for the pyramid. So
it's crazy. I mean, I keep thinking that it was, honestly, I feel like giants made them years ago when they fell. Because, I mean, this is the thing. Those blocks are, I don't remember, 13,000 tons or something. I mean, they're just crazy. And I'm sorry, the way that they were saying that, man was so rudimentary back then, you know, how they have depicted, ropes and whatever. And they also, it came far away, the limestone, from a quarry that was like 20 miles away from the location of where these things are built. So, you know, I kind of, that's just my theory. I mean, it just makes more sense to me why, first of all, everything is so big, and everything, all the buildings and the temples and stuff in Egypt are huge.
And far away from each other. Everything's
far away, right?
Quite far away from each other.
So it's just interesting. Well, Delphine, what do you think about all that?
I've always been interested in ancient Egypt. However, over the past year, especially the last 6 months, I have to say that all of the pharaohs and all of the leaders in Egypt, half of them were demons and they were possessed by demons and they were part of the Cabal at the time. So all of the pharaohs were assholes and they were all demonic.
Yep.
So I don't think any of them should be idolized at all. I used to love Isis and Osiris. Demons. They're all demons. They all
Yep.
took God's, enslaved all of God's people. And all the Egyptians were slaves to these pharaohs. So all of these pharaohs are just as bad as the lizard kings and queens of today. They're no good. So none of them
Exactly.
should be idolized. Even whoever's behind Dennis there, Tutankhamun, he was another one. Anybody who makes
Hey,
Tutankhamun, you got a demon behind you. Sorry.
I want you to know that I put my makeup on just for you.
I was just touching up mine.
Yeah. So seriously, they're all bad. So Cleopatra, all of them. So all of these gods that we all thought were great are really, just think about it. Now we know that anybody who calls himself a god or a pharaoh that's above God is a demon, is evil. So all of this. So now that I know this, I'm more I really don't care too much about Egypt, to tell you the truth. I'm more I care more about the how they did everything, like the how they made the pyramids and actual, like what they did in the pyramids. But as far as the rulers and the pharaohs, I think they're all POSs, and I could care less. And I'm glad they're dead.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing that I'm glad you brought that up, because Osiris, you know, he ruled
I don't
on
hold
Earth,
back.
and he took place of he runs the underworld, and cannibalism was prominent during his reign. And this is Osiris, and you know, so that's what it was. And you got to understand, anybody, and I don't care if you think he's the greatest man on earth, okay, man, whether they have quote supernatural powers or not, or magic or whatever, if anybody asks you to submit to them, get a mark, get a chip, get a something that you can do a hologram on your arm. I mean, all that is AI. It's all about, you know, it's bad. It's cabal run, and it's not good. So, you know, you have to be careful. And there's anyway, I won't go into that, because that's I wanted. I better not. But yeah, and the other interesting thing is that Isis, she ran things while Osiris was actually out conquering different, lands, conquering different lands for their dynasty. And she was in charge. So she was very powerful. And it says in the book she was a healer, but she used magic. So she probably used black magic. And then this whole thing, the murder of Osiris, Isis bringing him back, gathering all the, and then supposedly resurrecting using magic. I mean, that is scary right there. Can
I interject, please?
Yeah.
So people don't understand that Cyrus. Oh, okay. So Isis and Osiris were brother and sister. Incest is best. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, and the other thing,
that's how they're not. They're no different from the evil. They're no different from the evil lizard royalty of today. In fact, they were worse. They were worse because they were out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say, Delphine, you're glad they're dead?
I'm glad they're dead. Yep. I'm glad they're gone because they were all demons. Now, if they could only take half of the demons today, we'd be in good shape.
I know, right?
But yeah, I mean, Osiris and Isis. Yeah. So Osiris and Isis and Osiris. I was like, they're twin flames. They're in love. No, they were brother and sister, and they were disgusting. They had a demon spawn child that killed its own father. Then she took a golden penis, impregnated herself. After they cut up. I mean, so the pharaohs were not nice people. They were evil.
Well, and that's at the root of everything. And and they also, there's this, I want to talk about, there's I don't know how to say this name, Nephthys. And within the pyramid text, it indicates that she was a, quote, substitute without a vulva, an imitation woman with no vagina. What does that sound like? Look at what's going on. The introversion, and
Oh,
all of
this is
that.
the one that actually wore the beard, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
with the beard, whatever. But it was, but it was a he pretending to be a she, I guess. And that, yeah, and Isis's sister gave birth to Anubis, and Isis is the one that, and Isis is lady of the house, you know. So, or Isis means lady of the house. But yeah, so much. There's so much inner breeding and all that crazy stuff, and they were
all to
sacrificed.
stay in the same bloodline.
Yep.
Yep. And they did
It was about
sacrifices,
power
and they
control.
did. Yeah.
I personally on the pyramids and the Sphinx. One of the things that I kind of find unique with the pyramids, I believe in the pyramid power plant theory. In other words, it was just a giant reactor of some sort, and the resonance chambers that go through it. But even within a lot of the drawings of Egypt, it shows two sphinxes, not just one, two. However, it shows the sphinxes before the pyramids, and that's never really properly explained. Yeah, that's never really properly explained. It's always different times and different lingos, and it just seems to be all theories above anything. But yet that second sphinx hasn't been discovered yet. So
yeah,
it's pretty clear where they're supposed to be. And if they are, quote, brothers or brother and sister, the way they're talked about, they're the same size. Okay, that's a pretty big object to hide that they can't find it. You know,
yeah.
I don't know. And nothing in the old. This wasn't like, in other words, it's a different pharaoh. We're going to deface this Sphinx and just leave it defaced. It's gone. You know, that was one of their ways of shaming and bashing people, was defacing things and leaving it to show that, you know, I did that. This pharaoh did that. But yet, for all the technology and everything that we can see that they possessed, gods, quote, gods as they call it, you know, the whole intricacy is really just nothing but family drama. I mean, the soap opera. You know, it really is. And is it true, or is what part of this is made up?
Well,
you know, the King's List is one thing. You know what I mean? But the details of certain families, it's like they just rip that shit out like it's nothing. But yet we don't have anything else. It almost seems like this is the forefront of, hey, look over here. Here, listen to this story, and don't worry about the other stuff. You know, just my thoughts.
Right. What say you, Dennis? He's taking a sip of his coffee. That's what he says. I think it's funny.
You know how man is. You know, man likes to manipulate things and change things.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know if we'll ever really know what really went on. I had thought that pharaohs were basically
what went on back then.
Remnants of Atlantis.
Yeah, I can wrap my head around that and agree with that to many aspects. The representation, but does that bring in the Anunnaki at the same time? You have the Anunnaki and the Egyptians, basically one and the same, if you will, arguably,
or bred into,
into. Right. So I don't think we're just out here just to let people think and understand and maybe question a couple things. But
we can't teach anything. All we can do is open up their minds and Let them think for themselves.
Right.
Whatever resonates. What doesn't.
Right. If we keep reiterating the line or the lie of all the explanations, we're never really going to know. Do they sound good? Sure. I mean, Big Bang is the popular thought. Like out of nothing came everything.
Right.
Follow science, right? Again,
well, science only goes so far. They don't like to look beyond what they believe.
Right. What only they can fit in. But the Atlantis aspect is really quite intriguing because also relating to water for me. In other words, when we see these things, like, in most cases in Egypt, the water went right up to many of these temples.
Yep.
It wasn't like it is now. Like the water was right there with it, almost acting as an insulator or a coolant or something. I mean, a lot of these things were machines. If you look at them, the buildings were machines or storehouses or capacitors. I fully buy into that aspect of it. And if we look at the stories of slavery, were there some slaves within that realm? Yes. But we already know that most of the skilled people supposedly that worked on these things were paid. I mean, they have receipts for everything on these things.
Yeah.
However, is it a narrative? I never know what to believe. And it just doesn't fit right for me.
Yeah.
I wish we knew more of the details.
I agree.
But
and maybe we will know when everything is out in the open, when all things that have been hidden are made manifest.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we'll all know what history really was instead of what it is.
And there was was on another channel. I had a vision of the capstones on the pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid. But if you turned the capstone one way, the power changed, the resonance, the frequency. It wasn't like that capstone went down and boom, here it is. It was shown to me that it could be moved, and when you changed it, the resonance changed.
Yeah, see, I think it used to rotate. There was the ability to rotate. Yeah. Well, too, you have to understand that the pyramids, they were, as I understand, or what they're saying, what scholar, who the heck knows, right? But they're saying that the outer, what we see now is not what it used to be. It was sheathed in granite.
Limestone, actually, limestone. I'm sorry.
Well, it's limestone underneath, but then the granite too, and then on top it was like a crystal or something.
Well, no, I'm sorry. There was granite and limestone.
It was gold. Right.
Well, there was gold.
Well, the
writing,
capstone was gold,
and the capstone was covered in gold also. On
it was a rotating restaurant.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So,
what do they call that? Seattle needle.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there was writing all along the pyramids. That's been shown and documented, but yet you can't find pictures of it. But that polished stone had writing on it on top of it.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is the inside. Okay, so as far as the Great Pyramid is concerned, there's no hieroglyphics inside, and then
Nothing.
You go and you kind of look. That you research it, and they're like, oh well, they didn't use it, that predated the Egyptians using them for burials. But I mean now they're admitting that they're over 4,500 years old. So I would go back that it could be Atlantis. Who knows? I mean, and I do believe that these pyramids were used to push energy out. I think that's what they were used for, because they. Not only are they all alike. First of all, the Giza Plaza itself, the necropolis there, is situated directly smack dab in middle of the earth. Like, it's not a coincidence. And I think they were using the Earth's energy magnetism to draw it up and then push it out. And that's how they, I think, energize some of these cities, and they're all over the world, these pyramids. So I think that they were at one point all connected, or maybe that's how they traveled. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's my contention. I think they used them as, maybe portals or whatever to get from area to area, because otherwise you had to use a boat, or they didn't have planes supposedly back then. So I don't know. There's a lot about them that is so mysterious, and I think that's kind of what interested me more than the people, these evil people. I don't really care. But just like how they and also, I mean, definitely like the Nile River would have gone all the way up to the Sphinx anyway back then, and it was lush. I mean, it wasn't a desert, it was a lush land back then. So, when you look at all of that, it's so interesting that it's anyway, I just think it's amazing that they're still standing and still, wowing everybody. I mean, and the Anunnaki, when you talk about that, I mean, the Anunnaki, obviously that's all these elites, they believe that that's where they derive from. They're all bloodline, that their bloodlines derived from the Anunnaki, and then it goes down from there. And so, these people were not gods. I mean, they thought, they pretended they were in order to control their people. And I just think that for today's lesson, I think, is to be sure to pay attention to who people are saying. I mean, there's a new narrative out there that, which I don't know what I think about. I'm trying to say that, that there's somebody with Jesus's spirit or whatever that's living on Earth right now. I mean, that is like on Earth right now. There's a young boy. This has Antichrist written all over it, that they're going to slowly bring that person up and in, and we're gonna like this person. I mean, that's the thing that's scary, is we're gonna like this person. But my whole point is that we have to really be cognitive of anybody that wants to enslave you. I don't care in which way, however which way it is. If you are an oppressed individual where you are not allowed to the freedom to do what you want to do in life, the freedom to create, the freedom to live without being surveilled 24/7, we're already at the surveillance part of this, which is so scary. I mean, whatever. But yeah, so I think that the lessons of Egypt kind of need to come forth in today's day in order to like get people to understand that they were enslaved, we're enslaved.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah.
Okay, because my monitor just went black. I don't
That
know.
happens a lot.
We can actually see you.
Yeah. Well, we can see you, Dennis.
I can see you, Dennis.
All right.
Well, anyway, can you see us?
No, I can't see a thing. All I see is a black screen.
Go back in. Go out and go back in again through the StreamYard. That usually works.
I can't.
Oh, you can. It won't let you.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Try next time that happens. Try doing Control Alt. Try doing Control Alt Delete and see if that happens.
I'll just type in, I miss my lady.
That's it. I would just wait till your family comes in and really start talking to the black screen. Just roll with it. Just go with it. Well, can't you see him on a show?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I wonder if it's messing with my screensaver.
Yeah, it might be a screensaver, Dennis, because that happens a lot. It happens a lot to you.
Yeah,
not a lot. It's only happened twice.
It happened on my show a couple times, didn't it?
No, once.
Once. Oh.
You may have turned me off at one time, but
No, I only turned you on, Dennis. That's what I'll
Full disclosure.
It's always.
You need to adjust your stereo. You need to adjust the stereo, don't you?
You have to adjust the stereo. But I just want to say that I don't think that the pyramids were just used for one thing. I think they was used for many things. And if anyone says it was used for just one thing, I think they're dumb and they're lying.
Yeah.
I still think there's a restaurant at the top rotating.
Yeah, probably.
Because it goes along with her story.
Yep, for sure. So,
Heated pharaohs. Heated pharaohs. Really?
I'm a
Yeah.
pharaoh hater. That's right. You can call me. I'm a pharaoh-phobe. I hate pharaohs.
Pharaoh. Hey, our Pharaoh, Pharaoh,
I am a pharaoh-phobe. Just like I hate the Democrats and the liberals. I hate them too.
Yeah.
I'm a liberal phobe and a Democrat phobe.
I'm
Yeah.
a Billy Jack.
Billy Jack, yeah. I actually had a friend of mine that he had ferrets. He called them pharaohs.
Ferret?
Ferrets, yeah. He had.
You call them pharaohs.
He'd say my pharaohs.
Your pharaohs. Your pharaoh's
Yeah.
the ferret. Isn't a ferret like a
Yeah,
what does that look like?
it's
A
like
little
a minx,
A little
a
weasel.
long
Like a
rat.
weasel.
Yeah, stretched out
okay.
rat, whatever you want to call it. But
Okay. A
yeah,
rat.
he called them his pharaohs. And you weren't sure if he was just mispronouncing it or he was
Really
just like
thought
that.
it was
Yeah,
a pharaoh.
yeah. Exactly. So you just went
Then
with
you
it,
have problems if that's the case.
I mean,
I'm just
I've been
saying.
known to slaughter the English language myself, but it's one of those ones where it's like, I think he really thinks, yeah, leave him go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, agreed with you, Delphine. I think there was healing modalities with
Mhm.
the pyramids. I think there was energy. I think there was spirituality through the vibration. Yeah, I think
There
there
were
was a
even
lot of
rooms
things.
where you could actually they said that there were rooms that you would have to be in complete spirit mode in order to
Yeah.
meet so if you went in and you had any fears you would
That's
die, they said, because you were going to be face to face with entities. So there were many
Yeah.
and I do think that there were nefarious things that are happening down there too. I mean, you don't think there were sacrifices and things happening
Oh
in those?
yeah.
Of course. I mean, like I said, for years and years and years, we used to, the Egyptians. Oh, everyone's so
Right.
fascinated with the Egyptians. And I understand that. But again, we have to understand that the pharaohs and all of that was mostly evil.
Yep.
Agreed.
So, I mean, we just make sure that we're not, like somebody said, Cleopatra is my favorite pharaoh. No one should be your favorite pharaoh because Cleopatra was a demonic bitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, I mean, we can't
they all
idolize
were.
these pharaohs,
Yeah.
okay? They all were. Sorry, Cleopatra was a whore. She had the spirit of Ishtar, okay? Just like, sorry,
Oh no,
just saying the way it is.
like you said, she was the whole
Hilarious.
package.
She was Ishtar. If
Right.
everyone wants to know the spirit of the whole trans thing, look at Ishtar. Ishtar was the spirit back in Atlantis who turned they were turning men to women and women to men back in Atlantis. And
Yeah.
the spirit is Ishtar. Ishtar is the spirit that likes to turn men to women, women to men. She's the androgynous spirit. Okay.
Well, Chrissy,
As
let's
it was in the
let's tie
days of
this
Noah.
Yep.
like the sands through the hourglass.
Mhm.
Let's tie this into the star seeds now.
Yeah, because I wanted to do the star seeds. I mean,
Yeah.
like how. So, I mean, the star seeds. Now, this is the thing. I mean, we all know. I mean, as far as what I believe is, I mean, I think that people are from other planets. They reincarnate, or they incarnate here to help us move up
Be
into
right
the
back.
next. Okay, to move us into our next era. I guess I should
Right.
say era.
Right.
Our next to elevate the human race, because we've been oppressed for how many thousands of years at this point? I mean, and we don't even know it because we're born into the system. That's what people don't understand. We're born into the system. This is the way we think life is supposed to be, but it really isn't supposed to be that way. So I think that people who are, I think people who feel like they've been sort of the outsiders. I'll never forget what Trump said. He said in one of his speeches, he always said it's the outsiders that make the most impact in humanity. And it's true. It's the outsiders, the people who are, healers, the people who have the ability to connect with the divine realm, to sort of, and a lot of people, starseeds, are sensitive people. They, I mean, I don't know that I'm a starseed, but I definitely feel like, I always say, and I told this to Delphine the other day, I was like, yeah, I mean, I always feel like I was like from another, I always said it, well, I was switched at birth. I used to, and I've said that since I was little to my family. I mean, I've said that since I was little because, and I always wonder, well, why would I even think that? You know, why would I? So, you know, I mean, is it just that I just can't stand my family? Maybe. I'll be honest with you. It could be. It could be. But you just don't know. And I do think that there's so many people that are waking up to who they are, or they're remembering things. And so this all kind of, I want to tie this in. I'll just tie it into the book real quickly because the book is, I don't know, should I give it away? I don't know what to do. What do you think? You guys read it.
Don't give anything important.
Well,
Don't
I
give
know.
anything important away, but give just enough to lure people in, but not enough to give it away. You have to give
Well,
people teasers, not little teasers.
Yeah, put a little
I know,
makeup
Not
on it.
spoilers, but teasers.
I'm trying to figure out a way to do that without, because I don't want people to, like, okay, I will just say this, that Kirsten
There's a
Kelly,
teaser.
Kirsten Kelly she lives and works in Seattle. She's a PI, okay? And she starts a few days before her 30th birthday, she starts having these nightmares. And the nightmares are about, her divine, she starts having these nightmares. And so the book kind of, throughout the book, she learns things about herself. She learns things about who her friends are and her boyfriend and things. Things are not as they seem, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Things are not as they seem. And then this gold coin kind of falls into her lap. And then the adventure kind of goes on and on. I mean, Dennis, how would you describe it? Because I'm so bad at
I would have just said whatever it is that your synopsis would have said instead of getting
which is
into
about
that.
right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody's probably seen it anyway, but you can go to the KirstenKellyChronicles.com. I did put the link in the below in the, what do you call it? A link in the description. And so anyway, basically that's, and she ends up she ends up in Cairo, Egypt. There's one thing after another that happens throughout the book. And this is just book 1 of a 3-part story arc. So I'm already working on the second book. There's also going to be an origins of the gold coin that's going to come in between the first and second book, just to keep people interested, so people will know how this coin came to be. And then so yeah, and I don't know what else to say. What do you guys say? Why don't we go around the horn? Jay, why don't you, how do you want to end
I just came in and I don't know what you were talking about. I'm sorry. I came in from getting the dogs out and I'm sorry.
Talking about the book and how it related, why we're talking about basically why the reason that we picked this subject today was because my book's character, she ends up in Egypt, and the Great Pyramid is a big, huge part of the mystery, and that's why it's on the cover.
Where does the starseed come in?
And the starseed, well, all right, so she is, I'll just tell them, who cares?
Just keep it brief.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will keep it brief.
Okay, I'm saying don't give away.
Well, she finds out.
Don't uncover it all.
Her true origins are of starseed origin, but with a caveat. So let's just say that. That's a good way of saying it.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to keep the suspense out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And what is a royal starseed, Chrissy? The difference between a regular starseed and a royal starseed. I don't know if people understand that.
Well, okay, so a royal starseed, as far as the book goes, was actually created by God, and the Archangel Michael, he created an order, the Galactic Federation, to protect the royal starseeds. Now, basically they cannot. There always has to be at least one royal starseed in order to keep balance in the universe, and in the multiverse. It's a multiverse, okay? And the Archangel Michael is in charge of that. And he's the one that created this order, that the Galactic Federation, and there are super soldiers, and so there's a lot to it, but that's it in a nutshell. But there's more of a description in the book, obviously, but
Right.
essentially that's what it is. And anyway, anything else you want to ask me? You guys are I don't even know what else to say about it.
I don't want to ask you anything because I don't want to give anything.
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
I know. I don't either. It's just, I will say that to plug your book, and I'm not just saying this because you're my friend and I love you, Chrissy. I am not one to read fiction. I'm not a reader. I used to read a long time ago. I haven't read a book in years. I think the last book I read was Ishmael's book a year ago, and now that I know where, then now I wouldn't have read it. But anyway, I digress. However, this book kept my attention, and that's saying a lot, because right now when I read things, unless it has anything unless it's spiritual or truther or not, it very, very, I can't read books anymore. My attention span is just like, I can't read fiction. I only want to read facts. So for this book to keep my attention, it is like a miracle. So it is a great book. So I just want to say that.
It flowed from my aspect. It flows so well. It keeps your attention. You don't want to put the book down. That was the nice thing for me. I wanted to read more, and I had to pause a couple times because of life, and I went back from the beginning and read again because I was like, I want to read it through. I didn't want to be interrupted, but life gets in the way. But what I'm getting at is it was a very, very good read. Not I want to say an easy read, but I don't want to lead that into simplification. It was an easy read as far as it flowed well. It was it all kind of made sense, and it kept you right there. You wanted more, and I mean that as a compliment, really. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass, but it was a very
Yeah. No,
Please
seriously.
excuse Joe from being married.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But no, it was an excellent read. It was comfortable. You know how some books have a lag and a it just pops out of nowhere, and then you don't catch it.
It takes a while to get into.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them it's
flowed very well.
Right. Some books, like, they'll describe the scenario. So like, and the moon was in Gemini and this and that, and you're like, get to the point. It wasn't like this. I know what you're saying, Joe. It was simple. It was an easy read. Not that it was rudimentary,
right?
But it wasn't that, meaning that it flowed and you got to it. You didn't get lost in translation. You didn't get lost in all the little insignificant details.
Right. And it was,
if that makes sense. It was descriptive enough that you understood what was going on, but it didn't go on forever.
It was like listening to someone tell a story. I mean, like a good story. It was, and when I was reading, it was like someone was talking to me, reading me the story. That's how easy it was.
Interesting.
And smooth for me, honestly.
Wow. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate that, because I mean, you don't know how many times I went through this freaking book. I mean, even just a week ago, they gave me a couple of days and they were like, okay, you can make changes up to the 16th. So this is my neurotic mind of mine. I mean, if people knew how I operated, you guys would be like, what? She's a basket case. But anyway, I reread it, but I tried to put my mind like that I was just just as a person and not as the writer, to try and see. And my biggest thing was that I wanted it to make sense, because I was like, is it chronologically okay? Does this make sense? Is there did I leave anything hanging that I didn't want. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, that didn't make sense because over here they said this or that. You know what I mean? So I was a little bit of a basket case when it came to that, because I was just like, because I mean, I'm very hard on. I don't read. I will be honest with everybody. I have not read a fiction book in years. Okay, the last fiction book that I read, you're gonna laugh at me, was the Twilight series. So that was in 2009. So all I'm saying is I don't read a lot. I don't like, I just had this story in my head since the year 2000. And then, life happens, had health issues, everything like that. So anyway, so finally it's nice to have it out of my head, at least the first part of it, so that I can move on and breathe.
Did you post the link in the description, Chrissy?
Yeah,
for which thing?
For the book?
Yeah,
you mean
because
to buy
people
it?
are saying
That's
it's not
probably a good
working, honey.
idea. Okay, hold on.
I just read in one of the comments that someone tried to click on and it's not working.
Okay, hold on. Let me go. Hold on. Let me get it here.
Let's see if it works on mine.
Okay, so let's see if this link works.
Works for me.
Okay, try that link. It's right in the front. It says in big red pre-order, and it'll go straight to the page where you need to order it. And
or just copy and paste it and put it in the browser.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's
copy and paste it and put it in the browser.
Yeah.
Why isn't it like making it a link? Or do I
I'm
just
not
see
sure.
it that way?
I don't know.
Maybe it's on
Here,
YouTube.
let me look on my phone. Hold on.
Sometimes, Chrissy, I have better luck actually not putting it in StreamYard and actually putting it in
No, it's highlighted.
through YouTube.
It's highlighted.
That's the only
on
way
my
I can
phone.
link it.
It's not highlighted on my computer. But
It's not.
you can click on it on the phone. I mean,
Yeah.
my computer.
It's not. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
but
now
on the
it's
phone,
working. Okay, good. So anyway, so I mean, I appreciate you guys' feedback, because I was just a basket case. But
when I first started reading it, it was like I was reading John Grisham books, where he first starts out in that manner. It keeps you captivated.
Agreed.
God, it's so crazy, because Delphine did a reading for me like way back. It was the first thing she sent me months and months ago. And she said it was so funny because, years ago, I almost had it published, and then it all fell through, and I was devastated. And she was saying that to me, and I'm like, you're right. That's not right. What is she talking about? And then I'm like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I did. I did.
How are you holding up, Delphine? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing actually pretty good.
Good. Okay, well, we'll end it in a minute. Let's get Dennis back here. But thank you so much for your reviews, everybody, because I appreciate that.
No, honestly, I'm not just saying that, Chrissy. It really kept my attention. I think it's going to be a success, and I do think it's one of those books that you could keep on writing. And I said there could be, volume 1, 2, and 3, and you could just keep on going. With it. It's one of those, it won't ever get boring. And I don't think it's one of those series that you could predict the endings like most Hollywood movies, you know?
That's one of the things I said to Chrissy. I said, there's so much more that you can go with that.
Right.
Multiple.
You can just watch the Soul Tribe and you can write books on us.
I know, right?
Yeah, do a whole series.
I know. Well, it's so funny because the second book it's already in the book. It says coming soon, the Nowhere to Hide, and the third book is going to be Twist of Fate. That's going to sort of close out that trilogy. But then I already know what I'm doing for the next volume too. So, and
chess moves. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I really appreciate everybody's support. I mean, the Soul Tribe was amazing because honestly, this book, like I've said before, would not have happened. Actually, it was Lady D. If you hadn't forced me into the whole thing, I'd probably be sitting here going, I don't know what to do with my book.
It's like I said, it's always easier to be someone else's cheerleader than your own. So it was actually
Lady
really
G was
easy.
being a taskmaster, was she?
No, Dennis's pom-poms are bigger than mine. That's all I'm saying.
No, well, no, I actually, yep. Yeah, it's easier to get it is. It's easier to be a pom-pom, a cheerleader for everyone else than yourself, for sure.
Right.
But it was a great book, so I
they
saw
released it
as
early
a
too.
success. Yeah.
They released it early. I mean, the
Yeah,
kickoff party is coming, which we're still doing the show, but all of a sudden there's the pre-orders.
That's no coincidence.
Exactly.
Well, it was weird because my friend, I got to show you guys this. I think I showed it to most everybody. Well, I showed it to you guys already, but this was just hilarious. So my friend Dustin, who you guys are going to meet on Saturday, he's the one that did the stunning
the artwork.
The cover.
Gorgeous
he
cover.
Created
Gorgeous.
The whole thing. I mean, I'm telling you, he's so funny. He went and he told me he'll tell you the story. But anyway, so this is my first fan. That's Dustin's little boy, Willie. And he had a picture of the book in his hand. And I thought he sent it to me on Sunday. And I actually thought that, he must have made himself a fake book with the cover because I know he has he could print out the cover. And he goes, no, I just went on and ordered it on. I said, what are you talking about? They're not even supposed to be, it's not available yet. Like people are, as I understand it, you have to pre-order it, then they have to, I don't know. Anyway, so it was like, and then my cousin in Miami, this is amazing and cool too. I just want to share real quick and then we'll end it. My cousin, Yvette, she lives in Miami and she donated the book in the neighborhood's free library. Isn't that cool? So I thought, well, that's awesome because then other kids that maybe might not have, maybe their parents can't read it. Maybe somebody, they'll be able to afford to read it. So I love that. So anyway, paying it forward. So anyway, so that's our
show at 9 on Saturday.
What?
Sorry, just wanted to plug your thing on Saturday to make sure people know the time and everything.
What time?
Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Normally, I was going to do it at 5, but the only reason that I didn't do it at 5 was because, well, mainly my family. Like I even should care, right?
Bastards.
I know. Like I should really even care, but that's why. Because they're like, oh, that's going to be too early. And I said, well, I don't want to do it late because most of my peeps are in.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not about you, Chrissy. Come on. I mean, geez.
I know.
It's just way too early.
Anyway,
it's about
that's the
family.
argument I got.
Gotta love family.
I know. And so
exactly.
I was like, I gotta do it for my peeps. I'm sorry, but anyway. So yeah, so Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna do the book launch. Now I'm gonna have swag bags for prizes. I got Delphine. What are you doing? You want to tell everybody?
Well, if you're doing a raffle or whatever, I'm donate 2 30-minute readings for whoever wins your raffle, two winners.
Yep. And then I've got some really cool stuff. I've got a couple of Princess Starseed Warrior t-shirts, which a couple of friends have said.
Yeah, they just wouldn't look very good.
They're like, oh, I want one of those t-shirts. I'm like,
Princess.
Okay, there's only 3 in existence.
I want to check with Jason B.
I know, right?
Hey, pull that off. You pull that off. You do anything for your daughter, okay? Even if it's having a little tea party and letting her paint your fingernails, you let her paint your fingernails. Exactly.
There you go. So
yeah, I just
and you guys are going to meet the copy editor too. she's going to come as an award-winning author, and she's a professor at one of the universities. She teaches writings, and she's all about like how we are. And so she's going to be on too. And then, yeah, and hopefully, so Delphine, we don't know yet if you're going to be able to co-host or not, right?
I probably will. I'll probably will. Everything with that happened in my family, I think, is not happening until. So I probably will be able. You're going to go on for an hour and a half, a little over an hour, something like that. Yeah, then I should be able. I should be able to do fine. I don't think I'd be able to do 2 hours, but I'll be able to do an hour and a half. Okay.
I can't do 2 hours. I was just. I'm like, no. There's no way I can sit here for 2 hours.
Okay, I should be able to come on then. No problem.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's our show. I guess once again, if you guys go to, I guess, just hopefully you guys like it. I mean, that's all I care about. I just want the book to be like a fun thing for people to do. It does have truth in there. It's fact fused with fiction. And the reader decides what the facts are, but we know what the facts are. I'm just saying. So I guess that's it. Anybody, why don't we go around the horn? Anybody else want to say, Dennis, what's your last word for the day?
Oh, last word for the day. It doesn't really matter how small you may think you are, you can change the world.
There you go.
Beautiful.
I love it. Joe. Last
word. That's what Dennis would do. Last word. No,
word.
Just love to everyone. We'll see you at the next one.
All right, Delphine.
Just if there's something that you love to do, if you're passionate about, do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to live your dream. Even if it takes 23 years like Chrissy, it doesn't matter. Get it done. Get her done, as they say, and do it, because what you're passionate about, what you love, you might think is maybe just a fantasy or just, it's not important, but God gave you that that dream and that passion for a reason, and your passion and is your gift to the world. So do it. No matter how small and how crazy, do it, because your passion and your talents are a gift to the world.
Do it, Delphine. Do it.
That's right. That's so true. I agree with that. And I mean, my whole thing is just don't be afraid to stand up, stand out, speak your mind. I'm so sick of this PC bullshit. I'm sorry. I just don't do it. There is one line in there that says African American, but the rest of the story, it's all Black people. I'm sorry if that offends you. Go turn it off and don't read the book then. But I had to do it. I did it on that one sentence because I felt it was necessary. But other than that, people describe a Black guy. It's a Black guy. All I'm saying. I'm done. So anyway, so thank you guys. I just hope that everybody likes the book and enjoys it. And I guess we'll see you on Saturday, everybody.
And I'll see you tomorrow night for my tarot readings, 8 p.m. guys, instead of Saturday.
8 p.m. Eastern, Lady D tarot reading tomorrow.
Good night.
There we go.
See you guys.
We have to bring our questions.
Yes, you have to bring your questions. No, you just teleport them to me.
Yeah, teleport them. All right. Bye, guys. We're out of here.
Bye.
Have a great one.
I love you guys.
Love you. Bye. All right. I'm out of here, everybody. Love you guys. I'll see you Saturday. Bye.